Hello everyone and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot. And today is Meghan Markle's 43rd birthday. Some people say she's turning 43 again. I don't know about that, but I was just going to do a birthday reading for her today and leave it at that. Have a quiet Sunday afternoon. But no, the CBS interview has been aired in which the Markles have announced the launch of an online project to support parents of children who have unalived themselves. We saw the trailer of it. I was half hoping that she might leap out of her chair and throttle Prince Harry during the course of the interview, but alas, according to those who have watched it and according to the transcript that the Daily Mail has so kindly provided for us within seconds of the interview airing, she didn't throttle Prince Harry. She instead reminded us of her own adventures with the unaliving ideation. I of course have to use that word, unfortunately, rather than the actual word, and how cruelly she was treated by the British royal family, who took away her passport and her keys and refused to help her when she went to the HR department to ask for help. And they said, no, this is not within our jurisdiction, go away. She, of course, had a husband who had been in therapy for decades, had a therapist on speed dial. She was pregnant, allegedly, at that time, so would have been in the care of doctors and would have had access to that sort of support just as a matter of course. But no, went to the HR department and then was very loud about it on Oprah. Now, I don't know about you, but I do know in my own life, I went through my own dark night of the soul. It would never have occurred to me to go to the HR department of where I was working at that stage. And I have lost people to that particular course of action, more than one. And I think I know something about this topic. So when I think that I don't believe Meghan about any of this, I reach for my tarot cards. And in this case, the soulless tarot, I think, is quite a descriptive deck for the energy that I'm picking up as an energy reader. I'm going to have a quick look, and after that I'm going to move on to the birthday reading that I was planning to do today. I want to know, has she ever plumbed the depths? I want to know what the royal family think about all of this, because allegedly they were so heartless and unfeeling, forced her out that very evening to go to the Royal Albert Hall for, I think it was a Cirque du Soleil performance, where she seemed to look quite beaming and happy, but allegedly sobbed uncontrollably while the cameras were not on her, as she told Oprah and the whole world. I want to know what her true intention is with this, reminding us all about this now. Is it truly only to share her story and encourage others who might be feeling the same? Or is it something else? So true intentions. And I want to know finally if Prince Harry still believes this. Does he still believe this story? That's what I want to know. And because it's a very sensitive topic, and she did mention, according to the transcript that I've read, that the worst part of it was, apart from just not being helped by the people she went for to help, was not being believed. So I have to be very careful here and say I'm doing a tarot reading, and it is for entertainment purposes, and it is just an expression of opinion, and I am speculating here, and I read energy, and it's archetypal energy because we're dealing with archetypal characters, members, albeit estranged members of the British royal family, the archetypal family. And there is a disclaimer in the box below, and please read it. And please do your own research and form your own opinions. And if you are triggered by this reading, please don't watch it. Please do something life-affirming, or please don't contact your HR department. Please contact people who really can help you, because it's their job and it's their area of expertise. And I think I've said everything I need to say. Let's see what the soulless tarot want to tell us about this story. We have the Empress in reverse. And as I say, She was allegedly heavily pregnant, although the heavily pregnant, I say, could stretch for 9 or 12 or even 13 months in her case, and rather strange gestation period for baby Archie. We have the Empress, the mother, the pregnant woman in reverse. And curiously, I think it's Lady C who pointed out the coincidence between that trip to Liverpool and that Princess Diana inspired purple and scarlet ensemble that she wore, when there seemed to be some strange slippage, some unfortunate things going on under her clothes, and they rushed away, and then suddenly this story was connected to that day by Lady C, and other people have speculated that the inspiration for this ideation might have been the unfortunate events of that particular day. I'm getting some energy around that with the Empress in reverse. Let's just say that's our underlying energy situation we're dealing with. And we're dealing with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. That's Harry's energy, and it's Harry's energy in reverse. There he is with far too much hair and also far too much money on the card, I would say. But he's in reverse. So it was something that would have absolutely devastated him at the time. If she went to him and sobbed and wept and said, I can no more, and it's better if I'm no longer here, it's better for you, it's better for everyone, they are so cruel and cold and harsh to me that this is what I think. And yes, I'm being snarky, but as I have said, I am expressing my personal opinion in this reading, that I have some serious questions around the genuineness of that particular ideation. So there he is in reverse. So it's got to do with him at some level. The target or the impact was really felt very keenly by him. It landed. That's where it was aimed, and that's where it landed. And remember, my final question is, does he still believe this story? And I believe it's a story, but let's see. Did she really plumb the depths in that moment? And not because of what happened under that purple and red dress or the outfit that she was wearing, but because of her own mental state. Did she really? Am I wrong to doubt her? I've got the Three of Pentacles in reverse. That for me is not a mental health card. I always refer to the opening scene of Macbeth when I see these three ladies looking somewhat conspiratorial in this card. It's the working together, the collaboration card, being part of a team, and it's in reverse. What's coming through is not a mental health issue, not for me energetically, not for me as a tarot reader, not for the way I read these cards and have consistently read these cards. I don't think I have ever read the Three of Pentacles in reverse as a card that signifies trouble with mental health, plumbing the depths. Plenty of other cards that the tarot could have produced for me in this moment. And that tells me that somewhere along the line, a desire to be part of a team collapsed in that moment, and possibly on that particular day that she went to Liverpool, that the wheels came right off that whole situation as a working member of the royal family, and she landed herself possibly in some trouble and possibly wanted a way out. That is my opinion, and I am entitled to express my opinion about this. So what do the royal family think about this whole saga? Are they filled with regret and self-recrimination, or are they like, oh no, there she goes again? What do they think about this? And we've got the Knight of Cups in reverse. Two things coming to me. It's Prince William's energy well, three things actually. Prince William's energy in reverse. That's rolling eyes and saying, she's being manipulative. Then, of course, the pure manipulation is in there, the sense of just being manipulative. So I think that the Prince William's response is showing through here of thinking, no, I don't buy it. I'm not feeling it. Then I think the sense of being quite manipulative, if we're meant to feel moved and distressed by the story, well, no, we're not, because cups in reverse are quite cold energy. So her accusations that they were terribly cold and unfeeling, she's right about it actually here, but they're cold and unfeeling in my opinion, because they possibly share my doubts about the true nature of her emotions and her intentions in that moment. Three of Pentacles in reverse. It's also got a bit of a Harry energy in there, that they're looking at and saying the goal is to unsettle him, to distress him, to make him feel that there is no alternative but to leave the royal family. Three of Pentacles in reverse, and branch out on their own, where they had the delicious things lined up, like the Oprah interview, the Netflix deal, the Spotify deal, and all those wonderful things, and all those people rubbing their hands with glee back in California, waiting for the bounty that was going to descend the minute that Harry and Meghan extricated themselves from the tedious duties that the royal family inflicted on them, like, for instance, going to the Royal Albert Hall and watching Cirque du Soleil. Exhausting and boring, and I'm being very snarky. And who would want to do that at the taxpayer's expense? Who indeed would want to do that? I want to know true intentions. We're going back to Meghan's energy now in this energy reading. And I want to know her true intentions in revisiting this whole unaliving saga now, so many years later, when she is the parent of young children who one day are going to watch this and possibly suffer like Harry and William suffered when they watched their own mother give that awful interview that Prince William has finally managed to pretty much ban, as far as I understand things. What are her true intentions in revisiting this tale? Is it genuinely to offer to support to people who might be experiencing similar ideations, or is it something possibly a little bit more sinister than that? I've got the Knight of Swords, battle stations. We've been told very clearly that in those People magazine articles, that if security is not provided, paid for security 24/7, armed police, royal protection officers, King Charles doesn't cough up, doesn't persuade, doesn't decree that the security is going to be reinstated, then big trouble. We've been told that very clearly. It's a kind of a threat. It's kind of an ultimatum. Some people even have used the word about it, blackmail. And those are, of course, other people's opinions, not mine. But we were told it would be swords down if the security thing was sorted out. To me, this is my very disturbed opinion, is swords are up. This is a declaration. It's a very military card. It's a very swift and savage energy, the Knight of Swords. It rushes in and it moves very quickly to deal with the situation. It's very strategic. It's not an emotional thing. This is not emotional support being offered to people who have lost children to this particular ideation. Just about the worst thing that can happen to anyone, my opinion. But this card is telling me that this is strategic. This is an act, in my opinion, of aggression against the royal family, reminding the whole world of her version of events, her narrative on that Oprah interview, accusing them basically of really not helping her, of driving her to the absolute brink. And it is what was threatened in those People magazine articles. Swords down only if they get their way about the security paid for by the British taxpayer, ordered by the king. And there it is. That's what's coming through for me. It's very harsh energy, as you can probably hear from my voice and of course just me reading energy. Harry, final question for this reading. Does he still believe that this is what actually was going on? I got the Ace of Pentacles. Aces, I have to say this, aces upright are yes, generally, but that's not the energy that's coming through for me in this card. It's a money card, the Ace of Pentacles. I'm not making that up. You can see it for yourself. You can Google it. Ace of Pentacles is about the money, is about the grift, is about we need a new source of money, we need a cash injection, we're running out of funds, nothing's working, we need the British taxpayer to pay for our security so that in Harry's case he can go back to the UK, he can hang around, rattle the gates of Buckingham Palace and say remember me, and turn up at royal events, have the Invictus Games in the UK in 2027 and not have to bring his lot from California, his paid for hire guns with him. This is not I feel so wretched because I didn't notice that my wife had this ideation. As a first responder, I should have noticed, but I didn't. And I went merrily off to the Cirque du Soleil that evening, not knowing that she'd just had this terrible experience. I'm being very snarky. This is my opinion. This is all speculation. And I'm just testing the energy of what was revealed to us in the CBS interview. She made it public. She made her mental state public. I'm testing her alleged mental state public again. I'm testing it with the tarot to see what energy comes through in this reading. I haven't got one card in here that indicates any form of mental disturbance of any kind, depression, anxiety, or more sinister. I have got two princes who are in reverse, Harry and Prince William. I have an Empress in reverse, a pregnant woman who's in reverse, and you can speculate about that pregnant woman, that alleged pregnant woman, the truth of any of those claims that she made, because that card is in reverse. And Harry has moved from being very distressed, Knight of Pentacles. If anyone's distressed in here, it's Harry. Twice, because his energy is also in this Knight of Cups in reverse. Now seeing it as, okay, we can set up this foundation or whatever it is, organization, or we can monetize this, or we can get paid for security, because the swords are being rattled, the sabers are being rattled here today. Happy birthday, Meghan Markle, and what a piece of work you are, in my opinion.